Woof woof! Hey guys, it's me Marcus, aka the Mad Dog, and we're back with another video. So a few weeks ago I put out a video which was the top 25 best page-for-page Marvel Omnibuses, and the response to that video was just amazing. And because of that, I brought this video forward. I'm doing this sooner than I anticipated that I would have done. And of course, in case you haven't already guessed it, this is going to be the top 25 worst page-for-page Marvel Omnibuses. Now I can't remember the exact rules that I had before, but I believe the first one was that it's just about the book and the page count. So it may be the case that one of your favourite stories of all time is going to be on this list, but that doesn't mean them saying the book's bad. All that matters is the cover price and the page count, and we're just going to see how much value there is for your money. As well, I'll try my best to get all the data as consistent as possible, but some of these might be reprint prices and some of the page counts might be missing a page or two. I've just had to find them from like various pages across the internet. But this is all just for fun, so let's just jump into the list. Now I know that I said this was going to be the 25, but the 26th is just one that I wanted to enter anyway. And that is a book that has got the lowest page count of any Marvel Omnibus that I've seen before. It's got 184 pages, it's a $29.99 cover price, and that of course is Devil Dinosaur. This book has been out of print for a while, but it's pretty much just a glorified oversized hardcover, and this comes in with a staggering price per page count of 16.29 cents. Then we've got a two-way tie for the 24th place, and first in that is going to be the Daredevil by Frank Miller Companion Omnibus. This has a page count of 608 with a cover price of $100, which brings its price per page count to 16.4 cents. And tying that book with the same PPP is going to be the Doctor Strange Omnibus. Now this is the early years, it's one with the Stan Lee stories and stuff like that. It's got 456 pages and a cover price of $75, which like I said ties for 24th, and it comes in with a price per page of 16.4 cents. Number 23, and probably the most recent one that's going to be on this list, and one that I was almost tempted to boycott buying, is the Sensational She-Hulk by John Byrne Omnibus. This only has 752 pages for a cover price of $125, which means that its price per page count is coming in at 16.62 cents. Number 22, and get used to hearing this name on this list, we've got the Shang-Chi Masters of Kung Fu Volume 4 Omnibus. Its price per page count is 16.71 cents, and that's because it's got a page count of 748 with a staggering cover price of $125. Now at the very end of this video, I'm going to tell you how many of these omnibuses I've got on my shelf, because it's actually quite painful to hear the numbers. But coming in after that, we've got a book with a cover price of $74.99, and that is the Squadron Supreme by Mark Gruenwald Omnibus. Its page count only sits at 448 pages, which means that its price per page count is only slightly higher than the last book at 16.73 cents. But moving swiftly along, we've got the 20th entry into this list, and it's only slightly higher than the last one, and that's because the cover price is only 1 cent more at $75. The page count's apparently exactly the same at 448, which means that the price per page count for this omnibus is 16.74 cents. And as you can see, because I put the images up too early, that's going to be the Marvel Universe by Frank Miller Omnibus. I find it funny that one of these books that's pretty much just a compilation makes it so high in the price per page count, considering the fact that nobody seemed to want it in the first place. I know there will be a few people, but I just mean in general. Number 19, and this might be the reprint price, because we've got the Alias Omnibus. This has a page count of 592 and it has a cover price of $99.99, which means that the price per page count is 16.9 cents. Number 18, and the first Spider-Man omnibus on this list, we've got this Spider-Man by Todd McFarlane. This has quite a small page count of only 440 and a cover price of $75, which means that its price per page count as the first to cross over into 17 cents, it's 17.04 cents. I'm not gonna lie, I've said some of these words so many times now that they don't actually sound like they mean anything anymore. Number 17, and we can blame this on the restoration, and I'm gonna have to look at my screen because the title's so long, we've got the Timely's Greaties, The Golden Age Submariner by Bill Everett, the Pre-War Years Omnibus. Ninth time lucky pronouncing that one. It's got a page count of 872, and this is the first book on the list that's got a $150 cover price. Again, in these numbers, we're not taking into consideration any kind of production for the restoration of this book, it's simply the page count versus the cover price, because this clocks in at 17.2 cents. Number 16, and this recently got a reprint, it's the Silver Surfer Volume 1 Omnibus. It's got a page count of 576 and a cover price of $100, that means that the price per page count on this one is 17.36 cents. Actually, I kind of misread there, it's tied for 15th with the next book, which is the X-Men by Chris Claremont and Jim Lee Volume 1. I have to try and build the suspense somehow with this. The website that I saw said that this had a page count of 720 and a cover price of $125, which meant that it had the same price per page count of 17.36 cents. Number 14, and a book that I don't see on many people's shelves, we've got the Hellstrom by Warren Ellis Omnibus. The price per page count clocks in at 17.67, it's got a page count of 424 and a cover price of $75. We've then got a two-way tie for 12th place with a price per page count of 17.85 cents for both of these books. The first one had a $100 cover price and a page count of 560, and that is the Spider-Man's Tangled Web Omnibus. I've heard mixed things about this, so I'm not really too sure if many people bought it even at the fact that it isn't great value for money. And it's similar to the book they tied with because I got the Timely's Greatest The Golden Age by Simon & Kirby Omnibus. This, like the last in the line, had a $150 cover price, but this had a page count of 840. We've then also got a two-way tie for 10th place with both of these books clocking in at a price per page of 17.95 cents. They're both part of the same line as well. They've got the exact same cover price of $125 with a page count of 696, and that is volumes 3 and volumes 1 of Shang-Chi the Master of Kung Fu. So far that's 3 out of the 4 books in this line that have made it onto this list, and you're probably wondering at this point if that 4th book's going to make it on here as well. And before we crack into the top 10, I do just want to ask that if you're enjoying this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't done so already, please click that subscribe button. I never really know when I'm next uploading a video because it just goes up as soon as it does, so please make sure that you click on that bell notification so that you never miss out on anything. As well, if you're part of any kind of Facebook group that would enjoy this type of video, please share it in there because it does really help the channel. Number 9, we're getting into the single digits and we're finally breaking into that 18 cents for the price per page count, and we're not really sure if this is the price of the reprint or the original version, but it's got a cover price of $74.99, a page count of 416, and that is the Amazing Fantasy Omnibus. Coming in at number 8, and I know that this book is now out of print and I know that a lot of you really like it, it's the Hawkeye by Matt Fraction and David Ayer Omnibus. Its page count's 552, its cover price is $99.99, which means that the price per page count is 18.11 cents. We've then got a two-way tie for 6th place with both of these books coming in with a price per page count of 18.38 cents. The first of which has a page count of 408 and a cover price of $75, and that is the Guardians of the Galaxy by Jerry Dugan Omnibus. And it's tying with one of my favourite omnibuses, which is the Punisher Max by Jason Aaron Omnibus, which slightly different, had a page count of 544 but a cover price of $99.99. Number 5, and the only book in this series to cross the 18 cent price per page count at 18.82 cents with a page count of 664, a cover price of $125. You knew of course it was going to make it on this list. It's the Shang-Chi Masters of Kung Fu Omnibus Volume 2. Yep, that's all 4 Shang-Chi omnibuses that made it onto this list, so if you were thinking what is the worst value for money omnibus series, it's clearly going to be the Shang-Chi Masters of Kung Fu line. But number 4 is quite unusual because the sequel omnibus for this made it quite high into the best value for money omnibuses. It's got a staggering price per page count of 20.15 cents because it's got a very high cover price of $99.99 when you consider that the page count is only 496, and that is the Secret Wars Omnibus. And if you've watched my top 15 omnibus whales, you will know that this actually made it onto my list of books I actually won't be printing. But I even said there that this is pretty much a glorified oversized hardcover, but yeah, it's made it really high onto this list, even though the sequel Secret Wars 2, which nobody seems to like as much as this one, made it into the best value for money omnibuses. Number 3, and the price per page count jumps up again to 21.18 cents. It's another event omnibus, and it's the Evolutionary War. It's got a page count of 472 and a cover price of $99.99. Maybe that's one of the reasons that I hear absolutely nobody talking about this book, but taking that silver medal and getting onto the 2nd place podium is a book that's got a page count of 568, a cover price of $125, which means that it's got a price per page count of 22 cents. That is, and it's another book that I'm going to have to read off the list, it's the Timely's Greatest, The Golden Age Submariner by Bill Everett, the Post-War Years Omnibus. So if you were tempted to get either the pre-war years omnibus or the post-war years omnibus, and you're looking at it primarily from an economic standpoint, it's probably better to get neither of these. But if you did want to get one of these, the pre-war years works out much better value for money than the post-war years. But before we get into the number 1 pick that's got a massive price per page count of 26.04 cents, I wanted to give an honourable mention, because there is one book that no matter how much you divide the page count by the cover price for, it doesn't work out as good value for money. It's a rehash of material that's pretty much been taken from 2 other books, and that is the Infinity Omnibus. This pretty much just has the Infinity Gauntlet in the Infinity series by Jonathan Hickman. This omnibus is entirely a double dip, and it's a complete waste of your money if you've got the Avengers by Jonathan Hickman omnibus or you've got the Infinity Gauntlet omnibus. More so than that, these weren't 2 stories that people ever thought really needed to go together. Sure, there is overlaps in it's Thanos, it's the Infinity Gauntlet and stuff like that, but for me this book is a complete waste of money regardless of what the price per page count is, and I don't even understand who exactly this book was made for. But if we are primarily just looking at the numbers, the number 1 worst value for money omnibus with a page count of 384, a cover price of $99.99, and like we said earlier, a price per page count of $26.04. It's a book that's in my collection, it's a book that I felt that I needed, it was a book that was a whale for so long that I was happy that it got a reprint. It's none other than the Elektra by Frank Miller Omnibus. Yep, if you turn over 4 pages in this book, you are effectively turning over $1. That's just insane to me, especially when you consider that the book that started off this list was nearly 10 cents cheaper per page. Even when this book got reprinted, the price didn't get reduced or anything like that, but I was still just happy to buy it day one. But that kind of just proves my point about what I've been saying throughout this entire list. It doesn't matter if your favourite book ever is on this list, except for if it's that Infinity Omnibus, because as long as you get value from that book itself, then it doesn't really matter what the cover price is. At the end of the day, it's your money, spend it the way that you want in the same way that I'm going to. And in case you're wondering, out of the 26 books that made it onto this list, I've got 11 of these in my collection. One of which, yes, is a pre-order, but I'm still going to count it. If you guys are interested in it at the end of the year, I can do like the best and worst value for money omnibuses for that year. And let's be honest, number one at the worst value for money is probably going to be that Donny Cates Marvel Universe Omnibus. But hopefully you enjoyed this video. I know a lot of you were asking for it, and like I said, I'm interested in doing this for maybe DC omnibuses, maybe Absolute Editions, and doing it at the end of the year as well. If you've got any ideas for this concept, I'd be happy to listen to them. Just leave it in the comment section below and I'll read them there. But I would like to know how many of these books you've got in your collection, so just let me know down below and we can see who's got the highest count. But if you did like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you didn't like this video, why did you get this far? And if you haven't done so already, please click that subscribe button, and like I said, I'm not really sure what my schedule is, I just put videos out as quickly as I can, so click that bell notification to make sure that you never miss anything. As well, I keep saying this video on video, but I can't believe how close we are to 1,000 subscribers. There's almost going to be 1,000 dogs in the dog pound, and all of you guys have helped me to get to there. And it'd be cool if we could do this as sort of a group effort, so if you are able to share this maybe on your personal Facebook page, maybe on your Instagram, or maybe in some kind of group that you're in, please do so, because when I reach 1,000 subscribers, I'm planning on reaching out to people on Instagram, like artists and writers, seeing if there's anybody from the UK that really wants to come onto Mad Dog Comics, have a little bit of a chat and see what happens. So it would be great if we could do that, because like I said, I'm always trying to bring the best content that I can for you guys. And I do want that to expand into me bringing on people on this channel. You know, I've wanted to reach out to Charlie Adlard, Sean Phillips and people like that, really bring home that UK love, and I can only really do that thanks to the support of you guys. And I just hope that that support's paid off by the fact that I bring videos that you enjoy. But if you do want to support the channel, I'm not going to ask for a Patreon or anything like that. All I ask is that you treat yourself to a book, maybe even a book that made it onto this list, even though the fact that it's not good value for money. But all I ask is that you use one of the Amazon affiliate links down below. It's not going to increase the price, I can't see any of your details, it just means that there is going to be some money coming into this channel, and hopefully I can improve my camera. But if you aren't doing so already, please make sure that you follow me on some of my social media links. I'm always making sure that I put as much comic content on there as I can, and I'm also putting out like polls to try and influence the videos that come out on this channel. But that's the video, and like I said, hopefully you've enjoyed it and we can come out with that DC Omnibuses list sooner rather than later. But just make sure that you stay safe, keep reading, and keep barking all you mad dogs, and I'll see you at the next video.